Number 94 of Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan. And Dow is the owner of the...
No.
What's that?
I'm going to correct you first go. No, actually, Bill and Teresa Hannon are the owners.
Okay.
Of Fort Myers Beach Tattoo.
Fort Myers Beach Tattoo. And
Yes,
just in
sir.
case you can't see on the Facebook because it's a little sunny and shady there, she's full of the tattoos here. Look at that. And this is the first time we've had a tattoo store owner on the show.
Not a tattoo
A
store.
tattoo store person
worker.
on the show. Well,
tattooer.
you're a tattooer.
Tattoo artist.
Or
Right?
a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do this. There you go. That's better.
There
Go
you
ahead. Let's hear
I
you.
have never been accused of having a small voice.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about the shop first down the street. Where you're located in that. We always give that location so
You
much
bet.
promotion because we have Hoosiers upstairs and you have the Salty Dog next to where you guys are.
And I am right in the middle of that.
Right. It's chaos.
We are in
down
the
there.
same plaza there, right next to Salty Dog, right under Hoosiers in Paradise. It's Fort Myers Beach Tattoo. First tattoo shop to ever open up on Fort Myers Beach in 1991.
Wow.
Opened by Bill and Teresa Hannon. They are still the current owners. They also own a second location in the Cape. Amazing tattoos.
Now, before we get to the main event of your discussion, the fact that you were like the touring tattoo artist for Lil Wayne,
Yes, sir.
tell us a little
Lil.
bit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I don't
Lil Wayne.
as a milky white
And
guy,
Young
saying it
Money.
like that just doesn't feel right. I have to say little.
Well,
I mean, otherwise it just would sound like goofiness coming out of my mouth.
Well,
but,
that would not be the first time for you.
but anyway, so how long have you been tattooing down there?
at Hoosier,
Yes.
at FMB. I have been there for 2.5 years. Well, actually, it'll be 3 years in March.
So what is, I'm sorry,
Can
I
I
know
get a
we go
question
back and
in?
forth. Let me get a few questions in. So what age were you when you first got when you got your first tattoo yourself?
My 30th birthday.
30th birthday. So just a couple of years ago, you got your first tattoo. What is the normal age of the folks that get tattoos now, like their first one? It's changed so much over the years.
It really has. Of course, we see the pendulum in the extremes on both ends, but I'm going to say the average now is probably like 22.
22 years
Not
old.
really the 18-year-old waiting to turn and jump in there.
Yeah. And what is what do you think the percentage of population of people, like how many of you guys have a tattoo? Anybody? Raise your hand if you have
Nobody's
a tattoo.
looking at you.
Oh, they're talking to each other now. See?
Yeah, leave them alone.
We should do a survey. But my question is, what's the percentage of the population that you think has a tattoo
Boy.
now?
It's a lot more now than it used to be.
It definitely is. And I wouldn't even know how to come up with a number for the percentage. What I do see is that the mainstream is gotten much wider.
Mhm.
I have tattooed district court judges. I've tattooed DAs.
Wow.
Our sheriff's department.
Right.
So it's not just bikers and outlaws. you
Right,
know,
right,
it's-
right.
Yeah.
So now you did not originally start as a tattoo artist.
No,
So tell us a
ma'am.
little bit about your history and where you're originally from. And
Yikes. I'm from the Bay Area, California. I grew up riding horses. I was crossing my fingers wanting to go into the 84 Olympics riding horses.
nice.
So I rode most of my life. When I turned 21, I became an animal control officer for Santa Clara County, California. I worked with them for 5 years, and through that job met my now ex-husband, but he was Hawaiian, so we moved to Hawaii, and I had my daughter there. And then when she was like 2, we moved to Oregon, and then I became a Clackamas County Animal Control Officer for 14 years.
And then she grows up and you're just like, hey, I'm going to pursue this dream.
Right. I
Okay.
was a single mom from the time my kids were 6 and 8. So the county, of course, provides awesome benefits, so I was able to take care of my children
Right.
the way I needed to. But once the youngest hit 17, well, now the door's wide open. And as much as I love animal control work, it's very hard on your body.
Yeah.
It's a very physical job. So I knew I wanted to do something that would be a little more kind to me and have people happy to see me. So, so I thought, yeah, I've been around tattoos. I've ridden motorcycles my whole life. So, yeah, it just was an easy fit and a good transition. I was able to do an apprenticeship, and then I got right in Miami Beach.
Yeah, so you went from Oregon to Miami Beach.
Yes.
Now that's
directly.
quite a big cultural shift.
Oh my goodness. And I had never lived in a city before. Never.
Wow.
I lived on the outskirts, but never in a city. And yep, moved right into Miami.
Okay, so tell us a story about how you hooked up with Little Wayne.
With Lil Wayne.
He got in some trouble recently too, didn't he?
I think that was a while.
I
Oh,
live
was
on
it?
this little island.
Oh,
now.
I thought I saw
Yeah.
it got in some trouble, but I could be wrong.
But you know, anybody in the spotlight as much as he is, as you know, Ed, you get people firing at you.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, it's more, he's always out there and the man speaks his mind. That I know. So sometimes that's controversial. But I was working at Lucky Tattoos in Miami. I had just worked on a project with CeeLo Green and MTV. It never became anything, but through that contact, a man that had tattooed on Wayne before, we call him Dual. He knew that Wayne was looking for somebody to come on full time. He wanted a complete bodysuit, and he had quite a ways to go. So he tried me out. We got along famously, and the rest is history. And
so he hired you to follow them around full time and tattoo for him and the
whoever
entourage.
he went, can you do him? Can
Right.
you do her? Yeah. So yep, I was pretty much his full-time artist.
So you were telling me a story when we were hanging out after the chili contest that you were kind of like you waited for him in the tour bus, like he would go do his tour or his songs or whatever they do, and then
I did go on tour with them. You know, he would fly me out to different locations, and then I'd jump on the bus with everyone. But he always invited us to be right there at his show. He had a side stage for all of his staff, so we all got to watch his shows if we chose to. And then after a show, we'd go back to the hotels, and then I would tattoo him in the night.
So you would just carry your equipment with
I had
you?
a work box that either was in my hotel room or on the bus.
Got it.
Yep.
So the thing that like most, you would think that most rock and roll or rap or whatever they're singing, they would get on the tour bus and they'd say, oh, I think I'll have a drink or I'll have something to eat. You're waiting there to see if he says, oh yeah, put one on my back.
Yep.
Isn't that odd, or do you think that's
not when you're a tattooer?
Right.
Yeah.
But no, there's actually, and I think he actually even helped up the ante on that, because I know as we would go around and he would introduce me, this is my tattooer, you could see people going, well, that's kind of a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for him, it was completely normal.
And how long did it last? Like
5.5 years.
Wow.
And
So
then off and on intermittently after that. But after a while, I have mad love and respect for Wayne. He was very good to me. But you get nestled into this island and it's very comfortable.
yeah.
And I had completed his body, so I knew anything more he's getting is either incredibly
Filler.
small or it's touch up. So I've actually said no thank you the last couple times I was invited to go work, because I really like it here.
Now, for those that are watching at home, this might be a time where you tell your kids to go outside and take a walk. But when you say you've completed his body, you're not kidding. You
No, sir.
covered
in its most literal sense.
everything.
Yes, sir.
Now, that would seem kind of strange to me that you would cover every part of his
When
body.
you're working for a man whose motto is to the end,
Yeah.
I had it expected.
Or to the tip of,
And beyond.
yeah.
Infinity and beyond.
This
Do
could
a
go
lot
in
of
many
people-
different bad directions.
So how common or uncommon is the full bodysuit? I mean,
There's different styles, and I believe like most commonly would be more like a Japanese bodysuit, where it's below the collar, above
Okay.
the wrist. It typically splits on the chest plate, but there are no splits or gaps on
Right.
his, including his face,
When you're-
bottoms of his
Now-
feet.
And there's a checkerboard placed across his backside. Is
On
that
his bum, yes.
A checkerboard?
Yeah.
So
Well, it
Yeah.
was kind of a dare. Like he didn't think I would be able to put color on him because of the tone of his skin.
yeah,
I told him I surely could make color stand up on him.
yeah.
And so I put about 10 or 11 different colors. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So
when,
if they get bored, they can just,
Play chess.
play checkers or chess.
you have to be really still for that, or he's got to have a flat butt.
That's true. He's not a very still man.
Yeah. So let me back up just a minute here. When you're showing somebody's full body,
Yes.
if you know what I mean,
Yes, sir.
have you ever had to say to somebody, I'm sorry, there's just not enough space there to put one on?
Whew. No, I try to be that person kind of knowing what I'm walking into before I get there.
Have you
But
walked
it
into
really
one
has not
before?
been as many opportunities
Okay.
as you think. But yes, one before.
Yeah. You what? One you had to tell?
Oh, no, one I had to tattoo.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Now, explain to us a little bit. I was reading about the UV.
Yeah.
So how does, because we really obviously know nothing
Right.
about ink. So explain to us the different inks and then the UV.
Right. The ultraviolet fluorescent, it's a ultraviolet and it fluoresces under a black light.
So you can't, I mean, you can see something.
Basically, I have a 13 right there on my hand that you cannot see.
No.
Right? My frog is UV, but I did that one in a multitude of colors. It's
Okay.
actually orange, yellow, white, and green. But you can really only pick up the orange and the
Mhm.
greens. And yeah, in Miami, I think predominantly because most all the clubs have black lights in them. It became really
Oh, so you
popular.
kind of glow in the dark kind of
Yeah,
thing when you
it
go to the
just comes
clubs.
Hello. If you've ever seen Little Wayne's I'm Not a Human Being video,
Uh,
that he has his stars, like my stars on his face, they glow, and he has a lip mark on his neck, which is my daughter's lips, but
wow.
the lip print also glows.
Wow.
So
So
how,
you can't see it then.
No,
Regularly.
when you see him, you just see the black stars that are done in
Hmm.
black ink.
so when he
and then
goes
I
to the
outline
club and they do the whole lighting thing, does he glow in the
He
dark?
glows.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, if people are considering a tattoo,
I am.
I know your shop, the shop that you work at, super safe. But what should
Yes.
people, because there is a risk, and
Oh, absolutely.
I have seen one really, a woman
Where
who
have you
really
seen
got
this?
at our gym. An older woman had gotten a tattoo somewhere
Where'd she get it?
else. It was in New
Oh,
York.
Oh, she just
And,
went some back alley and got a tattoo made or
I don't
something?
know,
You know,
but
you'd be surprised, Ed. Sometimes even in the shops, unless
Oh.
they're very,
Don't you have to
hiring
be
very
licensed and all
conscientiously.
that? And-
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
But people, there
Screw up.
are good and bad people everywhere, and
so people have to really look at
be
the place.
aware.
Mhm.
Yes, I think anytime you're going in for something on your body that's going to be permanent, it
Right.
should be researched and take the time to qualify your artist. And if you go into a shop and want to start asking questions about experience, background, and an artist is put off by that, that would be my first red flag to turn around and walk. They should be wanting to answer those questions.
I was thinking about getting a tattoo of Chris Patton on my buttocks. What would that run?
A lot.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
handling fee involved unless you have a really nice buttocks.
Okay. Well, I mean, I believe I do. Might need a little shave every once in a while, but
Okay, there we go. We up the ante on that.
yeah.
There you
yeah.
go.
What's that running? Like that's like 10 letters or
just like
something.
every tattoo anywhere on you. We price by the piece. So
Yeah.
once I see exactly what I have to do, I can give you a solid number.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how hard is it? Because I've also seen this too.
Watch
when-
those questions about how hard
Oh wow.
When people
You started it.
I did
it.
not. I didn't say anything that was
it
that.
is. We were asking about placements.
Yeah. I'm
If
moving
someone
away here.
comes in with a picture or wants
Yeah.
a face or a portrait, I mean, I've seen that go bad too. So is that pretty difficult on the scale of?
It really depends what the person's art background is.
Okay.
I personally do not do portraits. I wouldn't do anything on anyone that I can't knock out of the park.
Okay.
And that would be a question too. If someone says they can do everything, walk
Right.
out the door.
Right.
Have you ever had
and
some-
I'm sure there are the artist I work with, Kelly Jackson. He has had himself in that shop for 17 years.
Wow.
One of the most unknown, talented artists I've ever seen. He's amazing.
Have you ever done a Trump tattoo on anyone?
Heavens, no.
No.
And,
Would you?
no.
You wouldn't try. You wouldn't even charge extra for it or anything like that. The birds are going crazy here today.
They're
Unless I
eating
could
my
use,
bagel.
What?
I can do a good Snoopy.
Yeah. What does that have to do with Trump?
I don't know.
You're not a Trump fan, are you?
No.
Did you see what he did to that terrorist the other day?
No.
Totally disintegrated him.
Really?
But that's a different story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back-
So, go ahead,
So
dear. Back to
what's
the serious questions.
What's the weirdest
Oh,
tattoo?
placement wise or
Just
yeah.
Wow.
you're all let it go.
Let it go.
The placement, jeez.
Weirdest tattoo. That's a tricky one because, boy, when you've only been doing it for 5-10 years, your stories are. But
Well, pick
now,
one. Pick one that you thought
Okay,
was a little odd.
Or maybe the story behind it was
Okay, because it was one that actually corrected myself, and it corrected the way I was prejudging something.
Oh,
I
what's
had
that storyline?
a French gentleman come in when I was working in Miami,
Yeah.
and he wanted a pair of handcuffs tattooed. With one cuff being on his left testicle.
Oh,
reading about
gosh.
this.
With
Yeah.
the chain going over the top and the other shackle on his right testicle. Of course, well,
Who would
I
ever
won't even
see
say
that,
of
by the
course.
way?
It was very judgy of me. I was a little bit put back and thought, oh, geez, here we go. I've got one of these strange
The
guys.
show
Right,
is going to
And-
have the
And
X-rated.
as I'm doing
on
this,
the
he looked
iTunes.
at me so sincerely and said, I think I owe you an explanation for this. I survived testicular cancer,
Oh,
and
but the handcuffs.
I can no longer perform,
Oh,
but my life was spared. So I feel a bit shackled.
oh, okay.
Oof.
So
There
you
you
were
go.
thinking crazy stuff out
And I
there.
was thinking crazy stuff, and I thought, man, this man's a fighter, and he's just reminding himself that it's not everything.
Are there tattoos that people come in
I mean,
for?
first
Wait
of
a
all, wait
minute.
there before you move on to the next subject. I'm just trying to think. Okay, did you do that one?
I did.
And so, who sees that one other than you? I mean, even
I
he
think
can't see
was
that one.
really for him, and he was a very lean man. I think he
Okay.
could.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well,
where do
yeah.
you stop to
Yeah.
bend down and look? It doesn't that always?
Right.
It's
Nah,
just a strange picture
a
in
lot
my
of
mind.
our tattoos. Think about everybody with tattoos on their back. We
Right.
can't see those.
Right.
A lot
But
of them
other
are just
people can.
symbolic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Symbolic. I'm down with that. Go ahead, wife. Back to you.
So are there tattoos that people come in and they ask you to do, and you're like, okay, but in the back of your mind you're like, this is
I'm just doing it for the
silly.
money.
Well, this is silly, and they're probably going to regret this at some point.
When they are, if I really believe that,
Okay.
I'm a big old Leo. I say I'm not doing that.
Right.
Yeah, I just won't.
Because you got
really
Little
don't-
Wayne money, you don't need to do it.
Well, I have a conscience.
Right.
I really don't want to be part of anybody's regrets.
Right.
I have 2 ex-husbands for that.
Oh wow! How did that happen? What went wrong?
Who knows?
That's a story for
Yeah.
another
It wasn't
show.
It wasn't the Little
first
Wayne
one
thingy, was it?
Just a friend,
Oh, okay.
a drunk night
Vegas
in
thing?
Tahoe.
Tahoe.
Wedding World.
Was it
There you go.
wedding? They have Wedding World in Tahoe.
They do. It's
Wow.
like drive-up weddings.
So how
you
long
bet.
did you two know each other?
Oh, well, we had been dating for a couple of years, but we had no intentions of marriage.
Until
and
you
we
got
were only
drinking?
together 10 months. And
Did
they
you
annulled it.
put tattoos on him too?
Nope, I wasn't tattooing them.
Oh, did he have
that
any
was
at the
part
time?
of the. Oh no.
He was clean.
Nope, he was a businessman from Virginia, not a tattoo.
All righty. And how long did that last?
10 months.
10 months. Okay, so number 2 came along, and that was true love.
That was true love.
Yeah.
That was. He
How
was
long?
my best friend.
Yeah.
11 years.
11
2
years.
children.
Wow. Oh, how did that go wrong? What could go wrong after 11 years?
Who
After
knows?
that
I was
point, you're
actually
just
a little bit blindsided on that one. But
Oh, he
it,
was a-
it was what it was.
he did it
And yes, sir.
dirtbag.
Yep.
wherever he
So,
is. I hope he's
But
listening.
that's all right because my children and my life
Mhm.
has been blessed
Yes.
and bountiful.
You're a very happy
I'm
person.
okay.
How do you
Yes,
get like
I
that?
am.
You take a
I
happy
think it's
pill?
that big old Leo thing again.
I don't follow that. What is a Leo thing?
I'm
It's your
I'm
it's
just
her
naturally happy. I have to kind
What's your
of
date of birth?
August 13th.
Oh,
Okay.
look at that.
The 12th.
Oh no, the happy people. I'm
Yes,
stuck with the happy
Kim,
people.
Yes, queen.
Wow. She's got no tattoos. Now, if you were to put a tattoo on, what would you recommend you get?
See, and that's,
I would have to know her to know what she loves.
You're Leo's.
That's the thing. Because his sister, my sister-in-law, was so excited that we were having you on because she's got lots
she
of
asked for
ink.
free tattoos.
Yeah, she's like, I gotta
asking.
get in there. We gotta go get one together. And I've always said to her, I guess I think like this then, but would I like it? You know, it's commitment. It was hard enough for me to get married. That was hard enough.
Oh, please. So, if you think it was hard for her, you should have saw me. They'd have dragged me down the aisle.
If I could get him lasered off, I might do that.
So I was going to get Tough Mudder tattooed at some point 10 years ago while they're going out of business. Right. So that would have been, how do you rectify that?
Then you have to laser it or they have to tattoo over it, right?
It sounds painful from the beginning.
Not as easy as people think. No. They think they can lay anything on anything and it's
not like a clean slate.
It's very difficult sometimes. Yeah.
No, I thought about if I could have pulled it together to do a Iron Man, that I would get the little Iron Man with a little paisley design inside there.
That would be worth it.
I would do that.
Although those aren't very attractive tattoos. They're kind of plain.
No.
I was
going to I was going to get something in there to make it.
Yeah.
You know, they start off meaning something and then they become teddy bears with Jason Nass holding an axe.
They morph into different. Holy crap. That's scary right there.
You just got to wake up and giggle.
Now, are you dating now?
No, sir.
Why do you say it like that? It seemed like it was a question you had to ponder.
Yes.
Is it because of the tattoos or
no?
Why? What does that mean? What
about me?
What? You're happy? Or
well, I am happy, but I'm also very driven, and I know what I want.
Yeah.
And when I don't like things to try to compromise that. I raised 2 kids by myself. I've done all the compromising.
Right. You want to do.
Really at night, I love having control of my own remote.
There you go.
I love being able to have a 6-pack last me a week.
How much does Margaritaville tattoo go for down at the shop? Because I'm sure pretty soon they're going to be the hot commodity. You need to raise the price on those.
I haven't done a Margaritaville.
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
Now, if somebody comes in and has something in mind, then you sketch it out and then show it and then,
Yep. Sometimes, I mean, now with Google and Pinterest and
you can just pull an image off there.
Going, I have this in mind.
Nice.
And
I love Pinterest.
Sometimes say I want it just
Have you been on my Pinterest page?
No.
Oh, you need to check it out. I have
you do not.
The flowers and the pictures. Isn't that what it's about?
No.
The recipes. I love sharing recipes with my friends across the country on Pinterest.
You make yourself sound so stupid right now. Good Lord.
But he's got a great tan.
He does. He's got a great tan.
What else do you want people to know about the shop? They should come down and see you and the gang.
Yeah. The gang is me and Kelly Jackson. We are the 2 tattooers there. Miss Teresa, the owner's wife, she does our piercings, and she's been piercing for nearly 30 years.
Piercing's a whole nother industry, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. And
that's for another show, because piercings cover the full body too, don't they?
And she's very limited now in what she pierces. She does very standard piercings that she enjoys as well. But come down to our shop. You're definitely going to be treated like the king and queen you want to be. It's your body. We appreciate and respect that. Bill has been very active in legislation involving tattooing and its procedures.
Wow.
So, yes,
legislation.
We stay very up to date on everything. A very good relationship with the county. And that's been really awesome to be a part of. This is the best team I've ever worked with.
What are the hours of the?
We are open 7 days a week, noon to 9 p.m., except for on Sundays. Then we close at 6.
So, and you can't come in there if you've been drinking. You're not getting a tattoo.
Yeah, we're going to tell you.
Do you have one of those portable breathalyzer things?
I think
That'd be a good thing.
No, and having a beer before you come, that's not an issue. But clearly, if you're feeling silly or being a little wiggly, that's not conducive to a good tattoo. And we want to put the best
a good decision.
For
what you're.
Should I take a shower before I come in? Should I shave?
Does make me feel happy.
Oh, so it doesn't really matter if my skin is sweaty or dirty and hairy.
We do want as clean up.
I mean, I shave my arms already, but should I shave my arms before I come in for a tattoo or something like that?
Well, you do such a good job.
I know.
Well,
you couldn't even look at how I got chicken arms. There's no room to.
Maybe
Maybe
you're
she
not
could
used
test
to
some
shaving.
muscles.
We wouldn't want
Oh,
you
you're
to
so,
nick
did you hear what
yourself.
she said? You're so
No.
get your hands off me. You think you're so funny.
Baby Schmoot.
She said maybe you could tattoo some muscles on my little arms. That's nice. That's nice. This show is going to the crapper.
Boom.
Holy moly! Look at that. All righty.
Oh, I couldn't help it. I'm so sorry.
But
I
yeah, we take care of that. We're going to sanitize your skin. We're going to shave you up.
Oh.
We're going to take care of all that.
Sounds fun. All right. Well, thank you for getting up early. I know this isn't your usual
so
time,
welcome.
but thank you for coming
very
in, and
welcome.
thank you for the
Nice
little
to have
Wayne
you
stories.
Awesome.
And
Kim,
Yeah,
thank
sorry
you
to
for
hear
see
about
you
your
again.
divorces and
I
all
know.
that. And,
Have
I'm
a
gonna-
great
Leo
day.
thing.
I'm
Happy
gonna-
New Year,
Yes.
everyone. Come on down to Fort Myers Beach. Check us out at Fort Myers Beach Tattoo.
and the address and phone number and all that.
1901 Estero Boulevard, 1901 Estero Boulevard.
Nice.
All righty. Thank you
right,
so much. I'm going to
thanks.
pay some bills, wife,
Beauty
while
day.
you chat with our guests. And Janine is coming up next. The Putt and Pub Crawl is the next event that we're going to be talking about January 18th right here in Fort Myers Beach.